going on, Jerome's? So the major story this morning is the Dallas Cowboys trading for disgruntled Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens, which I don't know. Like, I've always been sort of whatever about Pickens. I feel like a lot of his highlights are his almost catches. There's, he's just slightly out of bounds. What an amazing catch. Or just him getting in fights. That's really about it. But I don't know. Like, it feels like social media loves George Pickens. I've always been sort of whatever. But here's what's great, too. The Steelers are bad. The Steelers are straight up bad. This might be the worst Steelers rooster that Tomlin has had ever, right? But he'll still go 9-8, and they'll still exit in the wild card round. That's what happens. But Schefter, details of the Steelers-Cowboys trade expected to be completed today per sources. Steelers receive a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-rounder. The Cowboys get Pickens and a 2027 sixth-round pick. So it's a 2027 draft pick swap and then only a third round in 2026. That's it. That's it. So this is basically just a go-away trade, right? And the Steelers, the fact that you didn't get any 2025 draft capital, the fact that you didn't draft a receiver, I mean, well, what's the plan here? I mean, yeah, you traded for DK, but what was the plan? Roman Wilson going to rise on up? Please, come on, man. Also, why would Rodgers ever go to the Steelers right now? Like, I know it's the only game in town. It's the only team that actually wants him, but this is a bad roster. Like, frankly, the Steelers right now are less talented than the Jets. And if you're TJ Watt, why would you want to hang around? But long story longer, we like to make all the major stories about us. What does this mean for me? Because we are a narcissistic sociopath. But at least I recognize it as opposed to others who do not. But what does this mean for the Vikings? So Vikings have one of the best, if not the best, receiving duos in the National Football League right now with Justin Jefferson as well as with Jordan Addison. But with Addison, it seems like he's always on the verge of being traded, or maybe it's just a narrative amongst the fans and the media. And I, just putting together the tea leaves. I love Jordan Addison. I'm not an Addison hater. Love following his pops, Orlando Addison on the social medias. Love when parents support their kids, but with Addison, knocking on all the wood. Hopefully it's not 3 straight off seasons with an incident. And he's been highly productive his first 2 years. Last year had 63, 875, and 9 touchdowns. I think he certainly could surpass 1,000 yards receiving this year. He does greatly benefit from being opposite of Justin Jefferson. And to his credit, Addison has even acknowledged that. But I think that he has a chance to be a wide receiver 1 in this league. And the money between... So first off, wide receiver 2 money is getting up there, man. So you look at what T. Higgins got, $28.75 million per year. That's a good amount of cash. And the Vikings, I don't think are going to pay that. And if Addison sees himself as a wide receiver 1 somewhere else, I mean, then we're talking about mid-30s in terms of dollars per year. So it could be a spot where it really is, hey, must be the money. And the whole DK trade, this is more, the whole George Pickens trade, this is much more about, hey, just go away, because the Steelers got nothing. And if you're having a conversation about what the Vikings could get in trade for Addison, this ain't it. This is not it. Like, it starts and ends with the first round pick, probably some change, and go from there. So it's a completely different situation, even though a lot of Vikings fans have put together. It's like, oh, this sets the floor for the Addison trade. No, this is not even the floor. Like, this is the shale underneath, like way underneath the building. Now, but a couple factors with the Addison trade. So Addison would be the wide receiver 1 on most teams. And I think that his agent, I think that his wallet could certainly see it that way. Where, say the Vikings were willing to offer, like, hey, we will give you Michael Pittman Jr. or Calvin Ridley type money, and working out with Jefferson, and you're gonna be good to go there. I don't think that the Vikings go full on Bengals, where you're paying Jamar Chase $40 million plus per year, and then paying your wide receiver 2 $28.75 million per year. I just don't see that. But as we said, there's a big difference between that, what the Vikings could offer, and then you look at what T. Higgins got, or you look at what wide receiver 1s are making around the league. So that could be a major part of it. And then Addison certainly could earn that money because he certainly performs like a wide receiver 1. And it could be a spot too where it's like, hey, trade me after this season, so I have another year and 5th-year option on my rookie deal. Show teams what I have, and then let's get paid. $35-40 million per year. The Vikings do have a cap crunch coming up. 2026, 2027, and the Vikings have had cap flexibility, but at a certain point, you're going to have to make decisions because J.J. McCarthy, believe it or not, is eligible for an extension after next season, after 2026. After 3 years, rookies are eligible for new deals. Now, obviously going to play out his rookie deal, fifth-year option, and then tack on the extension after that, but it's going to be something that the Vikings will have to make a decision. Do they want to be like Cincinnati, where your quarterback, receiver 1 and receiver 2 are on premium contracts, and you have to skimp everywhere else? Or like, do you want to keep this pass rush together? Do you want to keep this offensive line together? It's a problem. Also, belief in Ty Felton down the line. And also, like we said, this is not just us hating Addison. This is us being realistic and pragmatic about the situation. The Vikings are going to have a cap crunch. Addison has a wide receiver 1 capability, deserves to get paid like that. The Vikings may not be able to pay it. That's what it comes down to. This isn't just like, hey, get rid of him because I don't like him. No, I love Addison. But just being realistic about the situation, he would be the most valuable, realistic trade piece for the Vikings. And I know because, trade Jefferson, trade J.J. McCarthy. It's not really realistic. But Addison could at least get a first-round pick and probably some change. So, like I said, it's completely night and day with the George Pickens trade. But I understand why people see it that way. It's like, a wide receiver 1/2 getting traded basically for nothing. What can the Vikings get for Addison? It's going to be a lot more. Certainly going to be a lot more. Your thoughts are thoughts. George Pickens traded to the Cowboys basically for nothing. And what does it mean for Jordan Addison and the Vikings? Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best to do. Skol. Production value.